So you're suggesting that our gene pool is perhaps split off into what I guess you could call good versus evil, and both of them are equally as successful in surviving and carrying on the.
Well, in a way, actually, I'm saying the evil is more successful, because which troop got to pass their DNA on? The one that had an aggressive conqueror who mobilized them to attack the other village. And if you look at human history, there's never been a time without war. Okay. And so what actually has happened over time is we've started to collect into larger and larger groups. So if you read that book, Sapiens, for thousands of years, we just lived in little like groups of like 20 people around a fire, and we did that for like 1,000,000 years, and then all of a sudden there was some kind of cognitive revolution. We don't know how it happened. Some people even think it might have been psychedelics that sort of expanded people's consciousness, the stone ape theory, which is starting to seem more and more plausible to me as I do more research in this area. But then they could think in larger concepts. So it wasn't just our little group of 20 people around the fire, it's the valley people. We're the valley people. Now they could think more abstractly against the mountain people. And so there came to be a capacity to see themselves conceptually in larger and larger groups. And those groups would still have these competitions, these wars, these fights for dominance. But because they were able to work collectively as larger groups, that was one theory as to how they actually sort of displaced the Neanderthal. Because the Neanderthal didn't have that kind of organization. But if you can mobilize, 100 or 1,000 people, right, to defend one position, then you're going to overrun this more, primitive enemy. And so in a way, it's in us, it's in our human nature, but these demagogues are able to tap it in a destructive way. And what they're able to do is actually to tear apart a society that has become more cohesive. It's devolution. When they break apart, let's say, Yugoslavia, when Milosevic takes a Yugoslavia and turns it into Serbs versus Croats, well, Serbs and Croats have been living peacefully in Yugoslavia for a long time. But he's able to, but there's a stress fracture there, right? There's still differences. What he's able to do is say, no, we're not one country, okay? They're the enemy and they're trying to destroy our country. So now what was within group behavior, we're all Yugoslavians, now becomes between group behavior. They're the other troop and they're gonna come and kill us unless you give me power to kill them first. Okay, so you arouse that fundamental simian protection, survival mechanism, which is